Hello Pattus, how are you today? Welcome to the Stories for Pattus channel. And what does Pattu mean? In my home language Tamil, it means darling. And as a teacher, I don't call my children my students, I call them my Pattus. That means a lot to me. So that's why I want to call you all Pattus. Sometimes if I forget and I call somebody darling, they'll say, Paru, we're not your darling, we're your Pattu. So it makes me feel very connected with all of you. So that's how I'll be addressing you. Today's story, the first story that we're going to read together, means a lot to me because my mom used to tell me the story when I was little. And I used to tell the story to my children when they were little. And now to all my Pattus who come into my classroom every year, I love sharing this story. Do you know this story is 75 years old? And I hope you love it as much as I do. It's called Caps for Sale. That's the title of the book. The author and the illustrator of this book is Esphyr Slobodkina. 75 years. So maybe your mommy, your daddy, grandma, grandpa, they might know this story. So ask them about it. But let's go in and see what this story is all about. All right. Look at this guy. He's got something on his head. Once there was a peddler who sold caps. But he was not like an ordinary peddler, carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. First he had his own checked cap, then a bunch of grey caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. So a peddler is a person who sells things, Pattu. So he's a cap seller. So what did he do? He took all his caps. He used to put it together like this and go around selling them. How did he balance? That must have been tricky, isn't it? He walked up and down the streets, holding himself very straight so as to not to upset the caps. As he went along, he called, Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap. That's what he said. Can you imagine getting something for 50 cents or 50 paisa these days? Whoa, that's cheap. 75 years back. How much does a cap cost now? 5 rupees? 10 rupees? $10? One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and he walked down the street calling, Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap! But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody wanted even a red cap. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. I think I'll go for a walk in the country, said he. And he walked slowly out of town. Slowly, slowly, as to not to upset his caps. So look, one day he couldn't sell any caps and he started feeling a bit hungry. So he decided to go out of town and he wanted to have a little bit of a rest. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. That's a nice place for a rest, thought he. And he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so as to not to disturb the caps on his head. Then he put his hand to feel if they were straight. First his own checked cap, then the grey caps, brown caps, blue caps, red caps on the very top. So he decided to rest. And where did he sit down? So he sat down near a tree and he leaned back very carefully. What will happen if he just shakes a little bit? His caps will fall off, isn't it, Pattu? So he sat straight and he adjusted all his caps. He made sure that they were all there, and I think he's going to go to sleep. They were all there, so he went to sleep. He slept for a very long time. I hope he gets up, and I hope he sells all his caps. When he woke up, he felt refreshed and rested. Do you see what I see? Yeah. Where? Can you see the caps are gone? Let's have a look. But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. All he felt was his own chipped cap. Where did the caps go? That's a mystery. Wow, I wonder where it went. Poor old peddler. He looked to the right of him. No caps. He looked to the left of him. No caps. He looked in the back of him. No caps. He looked behind the tree. No caps. Oh no, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? Let's have a look. This is not good. Then he looked up into the tree. And what do you think he saw? But he looked up and he saw something in the tree. What do you think? Elephants? Elephants don't sit on trees. Crocodiles? Come on. Crocodiles are in the water. Nah, I don't think so. Yeah, we'll check it out. Okay, we'll turn the page and we'll have a look. Oh, on every branch sat a monkey, and on every monkey was a grey or a brown or a blue or a red cap. Pattu, look at this. Look at all the monkeys. They're wearing the caps. How's he going to get it back? Oh. Let's have a look. Do you think it suits them? I think so. I think the monkeys look cool with those hats on. The peddler looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. So look, they're looking at each other. He didn't know how to get his hat back. So he started to talk to them. You monkeys, you, he said, shaking his finger at them. You give me my caps back. But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him and said, "Sss. This is not good. Have a look." So he looked at the monkeys and he was waving one finger and he said, "Give me my caps back." The monkeys did the same thing back to him. This made the peddler angry. So he shook both hands at them and said, "You monkeys, you give me my caps back." But the monkeys only shook both their hands back at him and said, "Sss. Have a look." So this time he used both his hands, and the monkeys are doing the same thing to him. Now he felt quite angry. He stomped his foot and he said, "You monkeys, you better give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him and said, "Sss." Pattus, I think the monkeys are copying everything he does. Look at him, he's getting more angry now, but he's not getting his caps back. Oh no. Oh no. By this time, the peddler was really very angry. He stamped both his feet and shouted, "You monkeys, you must give me my caps back." But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him and said, "Sss." What did they say? I can't hear you. Yes. Sss. That's what the monkeys said. Oh, look at him. Look at him stomping. He's so angry. At last he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap, threw it on the ground and began to walk away. So he was so angry, he took his cap off and he threw it on the ground and he started to walk away. But then each monkey pulled off his cap. I think it's going to work. And all the grey caps, brown caps, blue, red, came flying down out of the tree. Look! All the caps are coming down. That's good. So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First his own checked cap, then the grey caps, brown, blue, red on the very top. Look at him. Now I think he's happy he got all his caps back. Thank you, monkeys, for giving it back to him. And slowly, he walked back to the town calling. You know what he called? Come on. Caps! Caps for sale. 50 cents a cap. That's what he said as he walked. And I hope he sells his caps now. And that is the end of the story. Pattu, did you like this story? I loved it. But there's one thing we can learn from it. When he was angry, the peddler, did he use his thinking brain? He didn't. He was so angry that he didn't use his brain. And sometimes when we get angry, that's when we can't find solutions to our problems. If we are calm and think about the problem and try to fix it, we will definitely find a solution for it. So that's the message I got out of this story. Did you like the story? Okay. So whenever we have time and the story is a short one, I'll try and teach you a nice song. So today I'll teach you a goodbye song and it goes like this. A, B, see you later. D, E, F, G, I'm gonna miss you. H, I have to go now. J, K, bye-bye now. L, M, N, O, I had a good time. P, Q, are you gonna miss me? S, T, you are my best friend. V, W, X, Y, because I love you. Z, that's all. I hope you like the story. Pattu, be good, do good, and we'll catch up next week with another beautiful story. Have a lovely week. Bye.